Life always involves spending money, so where you put your cash really matters. This is especially true when you are just starting your career or when you get a pay raise, finding yourself with a little more financial wiggle room. If you are planning to spend, I genuinely think these 10 things are worth prioritizing. Consider them essentials or items that will give you the best bang for your buck. First up, a good chef knife and a decent pan. If your kitchen is fully stocked or if you eat out a lot, this is one of the most cost-effective investments you can make. Right now, you don't need to splurge on a 6-piece knife set or an 8-piece cookware collection. You definitely need at least one excellent chef's knife and a reliable non-stick pan. That is pretty much all you need to get started. The average American spends about $350 a month on eating out. That adds up to roughly $4,200 a year just on restaurant meals. From my own experience when I lived in San Francisco, I was easily spending close to $600 or $700 a month, maybe even more. Before I got myself a good knife and pan, I mostly relied on takeout from places near me. I usually ordered chicken rice bowls because I am a creature of habit and I really love chicken with rice. But I kept thinking, do I really need to spend $18.16 every time I want a chicken rice bowl? That is just how expensive things are in San Francisco. Of course, that was completely unnecessary. I mean, buying the same ingredients at the supermarket would cost only around $4 or $5. So investing $50 to $100 in a high-quality chef's knife like a Victorinox Fibrox or a Wusthof Renaissance is absolutely a personal expense with a huge return. Personally, I use this Japanese knife I bought at Williams-Sonoma. I actually don't even know the brand, but you can easily pick one up at your local kitchen supply store. While I currently use cookware from our place, a regular non-stick pan priced between $30 and $100 will serve you perfectly well, offering excellent quality for everyday needs. Let me break down the numbers for you. If you cook at home instead of eating out, saving $15 per meal, and you do this 3 to 4 times a week, that means you save $45 to $60 a week. That might not sound like much, but over an entire year, that translates to $2,300 to $3,100 saved. And all that saving comes from an initial investment of about $150 to $200 on a good knife and pan. It is okay if you are not a great cook, you can always search for one-pot meal recipes. Many websites now teach you how to make delicious and hearty dinners with simple tools and ingredients. This is something I have been working on improving myself this year. If you are also trying to enhance your cooking skills, please let me know in the comments. Secondly, if you are starting to spend more money, I highly recommend getting a cashback credit card immediately. Strictly speaking, you are not actually buying anything, and that is precisely the point. This is just a prerequisite, but if you plan to purchase any of the items I am mentioning in today's video, you should absolutely ensure you are getting rewarded for it. Many people, especially younger individuals, still use debit cards for all their purchases. Debit cards are fine because with them, you do not have to worry about accumulating debt. That is because they only allow you to spend the money you genuinely have in your bank account. So I think that is definitely a huge advantage of having a debit card. However, every time you buy something with a debit card, you are essentially letting money slip through your fingers. A basic cashback credit card like the Citi Double Cash Card, the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card, or the Chase Freedom Card can give you 1.5% to 2% cash back on every purchase. I need to add a word of caution here. Since these are credit cards, you must be financially responsible because credit cards let you spend more money than you actually have in your bank account. You really need to ensure that if you use a credit card for any payment, you pay off the full balance every single month. As long as you maintain rational spending habits, you can earn an extra 2% reward on almost all your daily expenses. According to statistics, the average American household spends about $77,000 annually. With a 2% cashback card, this means you can get back $1,540 in cash rewards each year for free. And this is just for basic cards. If you have more premium credit cards, the cashback rewards can be even higher. For instance, my Chase Sapphire Reserve card has already accumulated over 89,000 points this year. While points are not exactly equivalent to cash, they typically convert at a rate of about 1 to 2 cents per 100 points. So, if you do the math, just from my regular spending, I earn credit card rewards worth somewhere between $897 and $1,800 in actual dollar value. If I had used a debit card, I would have gotten none of these rewards, of course. With high-end credit cards like this, you need to deeply understand all the card's details, because they often come with annual fees and involve point multipliers. If you do not want all that hassle and just want simplicity, I suggest getting a straightforward 2% cashback credit card. I believe it will be incredibly useful. If you find it hard to control your spending with credit cards, then continuing to use a debit card might be a safer option. But I am guessing that since you are watching this video, your financial awareness is probably stronger than average. And if you use credit cards wisely, they can absolutely improve your financial situation. Next up is the third item. Make sure you consistently fund your Roth IRA every single year. Okay, while this isn't something you can physically hold in your hands, I genuinely believe that if you are in your 20s, 30s, or even 40s, and you haven't opened a Roth IRA yet, it should absolutely be your top priority. Before any other purchases, a Roth IRA is a personal retirement account that allows you to invest after-tax money, and then all the growth is completely tax-free. This means that when you withdraw the money in retirement, None of your earnings will be taxed, not even a single dollar. This is truly crucial, especially when you consider the compounding effect of the money you invest in stocks or the market over the next 30 to 40 years. If you are in your 20s now and manage to max out the $7,500 Roth IRA contribution limit every year, and consistently invest that money into low-cost index funds, by the time you retire at 65, you would have approximately $1.94 million. And all of that would be tax-free. If you are wondering where I get my 8% average annual return rate, it basically comes from the average return of the S&P 500 index adjusted for inflation. The S&P 500 index is essentially an index that tracks the top 500 companies in the United States. Another awesome feature of the Roth IRA is that you can withdraw your contributions at any time. Not the earnings, but the principal amount you initially put in. You can withdraw the principal from your account at any time without any penalties, which means the money isn't entirely locked away. This significantly increases your financial flexibility. I didn't open my Roth IRA until I was 26, and looking back, I really regret not starting at 21. Just those 5 years of delay meant I missed out on over $70,000 in tax-free earnings due to loss compounding. If you haven't opened an account yet, I suggest you do it this week at Fidelity, Charles Schwab, or Vanguard. The whole process only takes 15 minutes. After opening my Roth IRA, I realized I wanted to contribute as much money as possible to it. This meant I had to start really tracking and paying more attention to where all my money was going, especially those fixed subscription expenses in life that are easily overlooked. I used to pay for useless subscriptions for weather or flight apps. These were deducting money monthly or weekly, and it all added up. The waste accumulated from these scattered subscription expenses is truly astonishing. To help everyone solve this problem, I want to highly recommend our sponsor today, Rocket Money. Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance app that helps you lower your bills, easily cancel subscriptions, and truly understand where your money is going. Once you link your bank accounts, Rocket Money displays all your subscriptions on a single page, so you can clearly see which ones are active. You no longer have to struggle flipping through statements to find things you don't even remember signing up for. From there, with just a few taps, you can easily cancel services you no longer use, giving you complete control over every dollar. I used to splurge excessively on things like sushi until I started categorizing my expenses and doing the math. That is when I realized how serious the problem was. While sushi is indeed delicious, the completely uncontrolled spending was quite embarrassing for me afterward. Now, I've made it a habit to use the Rocket Money app to track my spending to prevent making the same mistakes again. If you also want to give it a try, just visit rocketmoney.com/Humphrey to get started for free. You can also scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the video description to try it out. That is rocketmoney.com/Humphrey. Thanks again for their sponsorship. The fourth item on the list concerns cars. Buy a reliable used car. Many people, as soon as they get a good salary or their first official job, immediately think of buying a brand new luxury car, which is usually not a wise move. Nowadays, the average price of a new car is approaching $50,000, which means your monthly car loan payment could be as high as $750. In contrast, a 3 to 5 year old used car, such as a Toyota Camry, a Honda Civic, or a Mazda 3, can typically be purchased for $18,000 to $22,000 at any time. These cars have already passed their steepest depreciation period, which is the first 2 to 3 years after purchase, but they still have a very long lifespan. The brands I just mentioned are usually very durable and reliable. If well maintained, they can easily last 150,000 miles or even 200,000 miles and beyond. Let me break down the math for you. Suppose you spend $20,000 on a 3-year-old Toyota Camry instead of financing a $35,000 new Camry over 72 months. If you finance a brand new Toyota Camry at a 7% interest rate over 6 years, your monthly payment would be $597, and you would end up paying close to $7,960 in total interest, bringing the total cost to $43,000. In contrast, if you choose a quality used car for $20,000 because the principal is lower and the total interest is less, under the same loan conditions, your monthly payment would only be $341, which could save you a substantial amount of money over several years. Yes, you would still pay interest, but the total would only be $4,551, saving you about $3,400 compared to buying a new car. Also, something people often overlook is car insurance. Insurance for a new car is much more expensive than for a used car. You could be paying an extra $100 to $200 per month depending on the model and your location. This adds up to a significant amount. Just because you want a new model, you could be spending an extra $1,200 to $2,400 annually. When it comes to buying a used car, you absolutely must do your research and look for those known for high reliability and low maintenance costs. The point isn't just to buy a beat-up car from a local online marketplace. It is about buying a car that gets you from point A to point B without draining your bank account every month. The fifth thing is a good mattress. Seriously, this one was a game changer for me because we spend so much time sleeping. There is this wild statistic that if you live to 80 years old, you will spend about 25 years of your life sleeping. That feels a bit rough because when you think about it, if you are 80, you feel like you have lived 80 years, but you have really only experienced about 55 years, and I think the period from 0 to 8 years old does not really count, so maybe your actual experience time is even less, perhaps 47 years. But either way, the point stands: if you are going to spend so many years of your life sleeping, you definitely want to make sure the thing you are sleeping on is the best. In my 20s, I always bought the cheapest mattresses. I would buy them on Amazon or other e-commerce sites, and as soon as the mattress arrived, I would just sleep on it. My sleep quality was terrible. I would wake up every day not only with back pain but also feeling completely exhausted. This is an actual email I sent to a company in 2014 when I bought one of their mattresses sight unseen and ended up having to return it due to back pain. The most annoying thing about returning mattresses is that sometimes they cannot even be returned because you have already used it, and they cannot resell it to anyone else. So mattress companies typically send someone to pick it up, either to throw it away or donate it to charity. This always felt incredibly wasteful to me. So the next time I bought a mattress, I deliberately went to a store, tried many options, and chose a high-quality one. And regarding poor sleep, you only truly know what bad sleep feels like once you have experienced good sleep. So after I bought a better mattress, the first thing I noticed was how soundly I slept. This in turn gave me more energy. My body felt much better, and I felt more creative throughout the day. I also noticed that many people would not bat an eye at spending $1,200 on the latest iPhone, but they would hesitate a lot to spend the same amount on a good mattress. I sincerely recommend everyone buy a high-quality mattress with good support. It does not necessarily have to be the most expensive one on the market. Furthermore, I also highly recommend investing in some necessary office equipment. If you frequently work remotely from home, then purchasing a high-quality external monitor or setting up a dual-screen system will absolutely bring a significant improvement to your work experience. With more screen real estate, I have found that my overall work efficiency has noticeably increased. Even if your work efficiency only improves by 10% over the long term, this will result in a huge sustained increase in your personal income. You will no longer have to suffer from headaches and neck pain from staring at a cramped, narrow screen all day. Additionally, an ergonomic standing desk and a high-quality office chair are equally important for your health. Cleveland Clinic has pointed out that standing desks can improve energy and mood levels, boost productivity, reduce obesity rates, promote blood circulation, and improve posture. And they can also help alleviate lower back pain. Having a good chair is crucial because if you sit in it for 6 to 8 hours every day, you should absolutely provide your body with the best ergonomic support. While it is hard to quantify its value in money, I believe that in the long run, those who are willing to invest in their office environment often see higher career earnings than those who are not. The best way to enhance your core competitiveness is always to invest in your personal skills. This does not necessarily mean returning to school for another degree. As long as you learn something that makes you more valuable in the market, it is a perfect asymmetrical investment with a much greater return than risk. Buying good kitchen tools to reduce eating out or choosing a cost-effective used car can indeed save you thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. But remember, the financial improvement that comes solely from saving money always has a ceiling. However, improving skills through education can change your destiny. It can alter your income trajectory for the rest of your life. And I think the upside here is much greater than any money you might save from the previous two purchases. So let me give you an example. Suppose your current job pays $55,000 a year, and then you decide to spend $500 to get a Google certificate course in data analytics, project management, or artificial intelligence. These courses typically take a few months to complete and are widely recognized by many employers. Imagine if a certificate that costs $500 could help you land a job with an annual salary of $65,000 or $75,000. That is a return dozens of times over. Not to mention that is now your base salary. So if your base salary is $65,000 a year, after a year or two, if you switch jobs, your income will multiply.